He was in Korea deciphering Chinese during the war. So he knows few Korean, sentences. 고맙습니다. And the gentleman sitting here, I had never seen him before. Great to meet you. Yeah. My mom is 84 years old, and she's going to be 85 pretty soon. Before she leaves from this earth, I want to do something memorable for her each, Thanksgiving time that she will talk about year-round. This year, we decide to take her to Denver Monday. On Tuesday morning, we're going to ride on a train. She never got on a train in U.S. And we're going to have a train ride, 34 hours, all the way to all the way to San Francisco. So it'll be quite a memorable for her. And she's going to talk about it year-round. I know that. Anybody she meets, she's going to talk about that, So we reserve a room with a 2-bed so she can, sleep, during the night. So that's what we're going to do. Then we're going to fly her back home, the end of the, week. So it's going to be quite memorable. It's because she's the one who raised us. It's three boys and one girl. And when I was 18 years old, my father died out of cancer. She never got remarried. She raised 4 children by herself. So we owe a lot to her, And so we want to do anything we can to make her happy. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to be fun. Today, I'm going to talk about a subject that is very maybe personal or sensitive to talk about, but it's very important to talk about, though, okay? It's about pain. I'm sure that every single one of you sitting here gone through some painful experience, okay? So we're going to talk about that. Before I go there, though, I'm going to show you a clip. You're going to laugh at this. Do you understand the picture? You got it, right? After Moses retired from his work, his and his body always going on fishing. One thing Moses was, expert was parting the water. So he parted the water. Got it. So his friend says what? Stop it. The reason I show this picture is because you're going to hear, next video clip, you're going to hear a lot of stop it. Okay? This is a comedy that you may have, seen. Kids, I want you to pay attention to the clip that I'm going to show you and count how many times you hear stop it. Got it? Can you do that? All right. Okay? This is a video clip.
Dr. Switzer?
Yes, come in. I'm just washing my hands.
I'm Catherine Bigman. Janet Carlisle referred me.
Oh, yes. Fear of being buried alive in a box.
Yes, that's me. Should I lay down?
Oh, no, we don't do that anymore. Just have a seat. And let me tell you a bit about our billing. I charge $5 for the first 5 minutes, and then absolutely nothing after that. How does that sound?
That sounds great. Too good to be true, as a matter of fact.
Well, I can almost guarantee you that our session won't last the full 5 minutes. Now, we don't do any insurance billing, so you would either have to pay in cash or by check.
Wow. Okay.
And I don't make change.
All right.
And go.
go,
Well, tell
What?
me, tell me about the problem that you wish to address.
oh, okay. Well, I have this fear of being buried alive in a box. I start thinking about being buried alive and I begin to panic.
Has anyone ever tried to bury you alive in a box?
No, no, but truly thinking about it does make my life horrible. I mean, I can't go through tunnels or be in an elevator or in a house, anything boxy.
So what you're saying is you're claustrophobic.
Yes, that's it.
All right, well, let's go, Catherine. I'm going to say 2 words to you right now. I want you to listen to them very, very carefully. Then I want you to take them out of the office with you and incorporate them into your life.
Shall I write them down?
Well, if it makes you comfortable, it's just 2 words. We find most people can remember them.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay, here they are.
Stop it!
I'm sorry?
Stop it!
Stop it?
Yes, S-T-O-P, new word, I-T.
So, what are you saying?
You know, it's funny. I say 2 simple words, and I cannot tell you the amount of people who say exactly the same thing you're saying. I mean, this is not Yiddish, Catherine. This is English.
Stop it!
So, I should just stop it.
There you go. I mean, you don't want to go through life being scared of being buried alive in a box, do you? I mean, that sounds frightening.
It is.
Then stop it!
I can't. I mean, it's been with me since childhood.
No, we don't go there. Just stop.
So, I should just stop being afraid of being buried alive in a box.
You got it. Good girl. Well, it's only been 3 minutes, so that will be $3.
Well, actually, I only have a 5, so
Well, I don't make change.
then I guess I'll take the full 5 minutes.
Fine. All right. Well, what other problems would you like to address?
I'm bulimic. I stick my fingers down my throat.
Stop it! Nut of some kind? Don't do that.
But I'm compelled to. My mom used to call me fatty.
No. No, we don't go there.
But I've been having this dream.
No, we don't go there either.
But my horoscope did say.
We definitely don't go there. Just stop it. What else?
Well, I have self-destructive relationships with men.
Stop it!
You want to be with a man, don't you?
Yes.
Well, then stop it. Don't be such a big baby.
I wash my hands a lot.
That's all right.
It is?
I wash my hands all the time. There's a lot of germs out there. Yeah, don't worry about that one.
I'm afraid to drive.
Well, stop it! I mean, how are you going to get around? Get in the car and drive, you kook.
Stop it!
You stop it! You stop it!
What's the problem, Catherine?
I don't like this. I don't like this therapy at all. You're just telling me to stop it.
And you don't like that.
No, I don't.
So you think we're moving too fast? Is that it?
Yes. Yes, I do.
All right, then let me give you 10 words that I think will clear everything up for you. You want to get a pad and a pencil for this one?
All right.
Are you ready? Mm-hmm. All right, here are the 10 words.
Stop it or I'll bury you alive in a box!
It's just a comedy. I'm sure that some of you guys may have seen it. But there's some things that we need to talk about. What are the issues from this clip you saw? She had a lot of issue, that's right. But the issue between him and her. She came to the office to be what? To be helped or to be relieved from the fear or phobia being buried alive in a box, right? Correct? That was the issue, right? Because she had a phobia or fear, she may suffer from it. There must be some pain associated. Correct? She came to the doctor to be relieved from those pains. Correct? Okay. Let me ask you this question. What happens if you don't deal with the pain? I'm sure that every single one of you have a painful, personal painful issues in your life, right? What if we don't just ignore it? What's going to happen to you? Say it again? It builds up and explores, It get worse, okay? What else? You get sick? Okay. It's what? That's right. Your relationship will be, will be normal. What else? Oh, you will take our eyes from Jesus, okay? Or if you don't deal with the pain, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna try to find someone to blame. Okay, this pain that I suffer is caused by this person and that person. Okay, when I was studying in seminary, I was given 6 months to work in a penitentiary. Everybody was in the jail, and I've been talking with them. None of them went there because of their fault. It was someone else's fault. The pain that they are suffering in the jail was caused by someone else. They are good at blaming others. So if you don't deal with the pain right away, okay, you are going to find someone to blame later on. Okay? Okay, next one is, what can we do to deal with the pain then? What shall we do? We know that pain is not good to have, right? You give it to Jesus? Okay. All right. What else? Easiest way to deal with the pain is to go to the counter to find a painkiller, physical pain. All right? Jesus is a painkiller, spiritually, but when you have a pain on your elbow, what do? First thing you do, go to CVS or Walgreens to find a right medicine to relieve it, right? Just stop it. All right. Let me tell you this. If you open your bulletin, you will see three pink slips there, right? Sticky notes, pink slip. Okay, I want you to write at least the 3 painful experiences you suffer in the past or now in the 3 separate, Post-it notes. Can you do that? You need a pen. Okay. Do you have a pen somewhere?
Like physical pain?
Doesn't matter. Mental, physical, spiritual, doesn't matter. Whatever pain you have that you went through in the past or going through now, okay, please, jot them down. One pain in one, sheet, separate sheet. One experience, each pink, Post-it note. It doesn't have to be elaborated, okay? Any incident, any person who caused you pain, just put the name, or any, circumstances you were in caused, pain to you, just jot them down. It doesn't have to be, when I ask these things among a bunch of ladies, they were so detail-oriented, so they wrote every single thing about the pain. No, I don't want that. Just 1 or 2 words. that will remind you about the pain that you suffer. Okay, that's all. Okay? You know, to me, losing a father when I was young was a quite painful experience. Or being ditched by my first love was quite a painful. You know, some folks losing tons of money in a business transaction could be painful. Divorce could be painful. Kids in the jail could be, any experience you've gone through that caused you a pain, please write it down. Okay? Do you need more time on this? Or are you done? Okay, can we go on? Let's move on. Okay, we're going to read this. This is a scripture reading. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptation, knowing this, that the trying of our faith worked patience. Okay? And also, another text is from Romans chapter 5, verse 3 and 4. Not only so, but we glory in tribulation also, knowing that the tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience and hope. Is this Bible, is text true though? You know, this part right here, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptation. Is this true? And also, what about this part? We also glory in tribulation. Does it make any sense to you? How can you praise God when you are in painful situation? To me, count it all joy when you are in pain doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Hard to do, right? And what about this one? We glory in tribulation. Huh? You got attention, you said? You get attention. Yeah, that's true. But usually people do not glory or people do not praise God when they are in excruciating pain. What do people usually say when they're in pain? Huh? Why me? Is that it? Why me? I've been a faithful churchgoer. I do a lot of works in the church. Why me then? Why do I suffer? We usually blame God. Correct? So this one, didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I was struggling with this, dealing with the pain. But the pain the Bible is talking about right here is quite different from the experience we have on this earth. Usually, when pain comes, we try to find someone to blame or we cuss God. Okay? But here, we need to glorify God when we're in suffering. Doesn't really make any sense to me. So the pain Bible is talking about right here, I say processed pain. That's what I'm going to say. You may not understand what I mean by processed pain. I'm gonna show you. But before I go there, oops, doesn't move. Okay. Let me tell you this. Living without pain is hell. Do you believe that? What about this? Living without pain is hell. Is that true? We want to live a life without any pain, right? Let me tell you though, that's not right. What I wrote, living without pain is hell, is so true. Let me tell you why. There was an American missionary doctor working in India treating leprosy. Okay, he'd been there over 30 years. because he was treating patient with the leprosy, he always had a little fear in the back of his mind. What was his fear? Someday, treating with them, I may get leprosy myself. Correct? You know what he did? Every night after treatment, after day was over, you know what he did? He went to his office, bring the syringe, needle, to poke him. Okay? If there is a pain, he knew that he had no leprosy. So every night, after work is done, he went to his office, poke him, and there was a pain. He was so happy. One day, he was treating a patient with the leprosy, and somehow needle went into his skin. There was no pain. So he knew that he might have leprosy in himself. He got scared. You know what he did? He stopped treating him, sent him home, went to his office, brought the biggest, needle he could find. You know what he did? He plunged it into his thigh. See if there is any pain. There was a severe pain he ever experienced. The most severe pain he ever experienced in his life. And he cried like a little baby. But he didn't cry because of pain, but because of what? Joy. He was so joyful because there's a pain down there. What if there's no pain down there? What if there's no pain down there? Huh? He would have leprosy. So living, he said, without pain is hell. That's what he said. Does it make any sense to you? And also, another instances. One day he was sitting in his office. There was a man coming into his office. And he saw, you know what he saw? One of his foot, below ankle, was gone. Bleeding with the crutches coming into his office. Ask him to, put bandages around so he won't bleed anymore. So he did. And next morning, he came back again. And this time, this foot right here, right-hand side foot was gone. And the bleeding, clutches. So he bended so that he would not bleed to death. So he was wondering, what was going on? So he followed him. The Dr. Brown followed his house and spent the night there. You know what he saw? During the night, the mouse, several mouses, came down from the ceiling, started eating his feet, and he didn't know anything about it because there's no pain. So his conclusion is what? Living without pain is hell. That's what he said. We all have a pain, don't we? We cannot sometimes bear the pain that we suffer. But you got to thank God that you have a pain. What if you don't feel pain in you? Huh? You might be dead. If there is a severe bleeding inside of you and you don't feel any pain, what's going to happen? God is so good. 4 millimeter of a kidney stone passing me one day, it was excruciating pain. It was excruciatingly painful. Even 4 millimeters of a kidney stone passing me and brought me so much pain. I thank God for that. What if I don't feel it? My kidney will be all torn apart, and I'll be bleed to death. I'm coming out. It was painful, but coming out of the, hospital, I said, thank you, Lord, that I was able to feel pain inside. That's what I said. If you think that pain is no good, I need to take painkiller all the times, you are living in hell. No, let me tell you this. I was working in Garland as a pastor, and church was located 2 miles away from Garland Waste Management Center. Okay? We are 2 miles south from that center. But one thing, when wind blows from north toward the church, it was unbearable. The smell from the west in the management center, so stinky. And even if we close all the doors, we could smell so bad. So, on Sabbath morning, wind was blowing from north, members do not show up. They don't want to smell, So I decided to visit there. So I went there knocking doors and asked them why is it so smelly, when wind blows from north. You know what? The foreman of the facility showed me around. Okay? And this is the water that came into the center. There are more than 200,000 people live in the city of Garland. And all those, wastewater coming to the center. You know what? You went to the big, huge tank, one tank after another. There are more than 10 of them. The size of the tank is 10 times bigger than this. You will see all those dirty things flowing into that facility. I can see with my own eyes. From your bathrooms, all coming in. And I cannot even open my nose and my mouth to breathe. I wish I could be dead. Looking at them and smelling them. But, same water coming into the management center went through one tank to another and another over 10 times. At the end of the process, I see water like this. So clean. You know what he did? He brought a cup and dipped the water from the same water, asked me to drink. Would you? I was not able to drink because of what I saw. 10 tanks before was so dirty. But it's the same water. But gone through what? Gone through process. Remember that? Filtration. You know what he did? In front of me, he dipped the water into a cup and drank. No problem. You know what he said? The water you see now, it's much cleaner than the water you buy in the store. That's what he said. So it's the same water, right? 10 tanks before, it was a dirty, filthy water that if you take them, you're going to die. But gone through what? Processed, right? Then it's the water 10 tanks before, at the beginning, is the one that will kill us, right? The same water being processed is the water that gives us what? Life. Pain is the same way. Pain that we suffer, okay? If we're not processed, pain that you suffer will kill you. But if it has been processed, you know what? It's going to give us what? Life. That's why the Bible says we glory in tribulation. We all count pain as a blessing. But it has to be what? Has to be processed. If it's not processed, it will kill you. But by God's grace, we'll process them together, then will give us life. Tell me if there's any Bible, character who had never gone through painful experience. There's nobody, right? Every single Bible heroes we know. Even Jesus, he got the most what? Severe, excruciating pain in his life. Mentally, spiritually, physically, right? And you know what? The more painful experience you've gone through, the mature you become. Imagine Joseph. I'm going to talk about Joseph a lot later on. Not today, but some other time. Look at Joseph. He was one of the most privileged kids, right? In the world, right? He got all the love and affection from his father. He was one of his most, he was most favorite son, correct? What happened though? His life was on the ninth cloud. He had no problem whatsoever. He had no pain whatsoever. But gone through what? Gone through such a horrible, painful experience. Right? Because he gone through such a horrible experience in his life, God chose him as the prime minister of the most powerful nation at the time. Moses, look about Moses. Look at Moses. Moses, he was trained in Egypt to be next Pharaoh. But then what happened? He was thrown into wilderness for 40 years, gone through a painful experience. And God used him to be a deliverer of Israelites from Egypt. See, so looking at the Bible, what do we see? What do we see? The pain is not curse anymore. Pain is what? Blessing. Once we what? Process them. You got that? So I'm going to give you a chance to process the painful experience you've gone through. But before we go there, though, there's some principles about pain. Number one, pain is unavoidable. Is there anyone among us who is completely exempt from pain? Every single one of us. Only dead will not suffer pain, correct? You either got to be dead or you got to be in heaven. Okay, to be exempt from pain. As long as you live in this earth, you're going to have what? Pain. Either physical, mental, spiritual. Correct? So it's a natural. You can avoid them. Number two is, in the midst of it, we rarely understand the reason for our pains. We don't know why this pain comes to us. Correct? Could be sin. We don't know why. Sometimes pain just comes without any reason behind. We just have to suffer it. All right? And also, before we go there, let me try it again. Because we do not know where it's coming from, we always say what? When pain comes, what do we usually say? Huh? Understand? And we say, why me? Why me? Okay? I live a good life. I did a lot of good things for neighbors. I did good things in the church. Why me then? Why do you, God, why do you bring suffering on me? We sometimes blame God. What did Job's wife say? When pain came to Job, that's what he said. You curse God and die. Sometimes we say so. When I was going most excruciating, painful experience in my life, in early days of my ministry, you know what I say to God? You know what I say to God? I was away from home. I just got married, okay? And the church was appreciating what I do. Then something happened. I suffered so much. I thought I was doing good for the Lord. But the pain that I could not bear came to me. You know what I said to God? This is what I said in my prayer. Why do you evil to me? That's what I said. It was so excruciating. I could not bear it anymore. So I said, Lord, I do all this for you and you bring me this pain? Why do you do evil to me? That's what I said. That's how I usually, react to pain. Okay? And then, you know what though? Pain often produces the greatest insights. I've been in ministry over 35 years and sit with the people all the times, visiting them and talking with them. I meet a lot of folks who've gone through painful experience. And they've gone through, series of a painful experience. And then, you know what I found? I learned a lot from them. You know, the person that I learned most is from my mom. She never been educated, okay? And she was a widower. She was a widow when she was, only 30-some years old, raising 4 children by herself, begging food from one house to another to support us. She gone through Japanese colonies in Korea, and also she gone through Korean War. Anytime I have an issue in my life, you know what I go to? I go to my mom. And she give me always a good answer. Why is that? She learned a lot of insight. She got a lot of insight from her painful experience in the past. That's so true. Another one is this. This is the most important. God's intent is to never waste our pain. How do you understand this? How do you understand this text? God's intent is never to waste our pain. Okay? Say it again. Learn from it. Okay. What else? Something's wrong with me. Okay. What else? Be grateful. Okay. When I read this sentence, you know how I take it? The pain that I suffer is not accidental. It's rather providential. God put painful experience in front of me intentionally so that I'll be more mature. I'll turn out to be more mature later on. After I've gone through the tunnel, painful experience, at the end of the tunnel, I turn out to be more mature than before the tunnel. You know what I'm saying? So God always allows us to go through painful experience so that we become more like Him. You got that? So we should not waste painful experience God intentionally put before us. You got that? I want you to remember that. So, looking back your life, there's so many painful experiences in your life, right? It's not there accidentally. It's there intentionally. When you know that, what if you've gone through, see, look at this. If you visit, East, the major, agriculture is rice. Rice, right? And how do they plant rice in the field? They, germinate seed in a greenhouse, all right? Got that? They germinate in a greenhouse, and it will grow this big. If you leave it there in a greenhouse, a perfect environment, they will die in 10 days. Interesting, isn't it? But they will take them out. What do? They spread them out in a harsh environment, going through tough weather, and they grow and grow. Finally, they yield the grains. Same way with our pains. What if we just, live in a greenhouse? We're going to be very weak. So weak. Let me tell you another story. There was a boy who was given an assignment to observe cocoon. Mammoth, butterfly. So he was given a cocoon. There was a caterpillar inside, right? And he was watching, make a journal every day. And one day, he saw little tiny holes, one of the cocoons. The butterfly tried to come out, making little holes. Tried to, and with his teeth, getting bigger and bigger. And imagine how hard it is to big butterfly trying to come out of this small hole, sticking his head out and trying to spread out. It was so hard. that little Johnny was so sympathetic about this, trying to help the butterfly. You know what he did? He brought a Caesar and cut the hole a little bigger and bigger, so butterfly could come out. He came out, all right. You know what? Flew in the room several times and dropped dead. Wow. Could not fly. You know, trying to come in out of the little hole, you know what? Butterfly become stronger and mightier to fly. You know, build up the muscles. That's how they were intended to live. So we go through painful experience in this life. That's the way we are intended to live. But what if we cut all the painful experience away? Then what's going to happen? We become weak and weak. Never get matured. Never get matured. And God's intention is for you to grow like Him. You know, sometimes you put what? Sometimes God put painful experience before you, and you're going to go through it. The trials and tribulations, that's so true. Let me give another story about my dog. What time do I have? Okay. I used to have a dog. We called him Bruce. He was a very nice dog. It was a mixture between lab and the bulldog. And, you know, we loved him. We loved him so much. And he was well-trained as well. But one thing he likes to do is to go outside. He loved to go outside. So anytime he saw the front door cracking up like this, you know what he does? He just ran away. He just ran out through the door and come back home an hour later. You know, going around the town, around the whole village, and come back home an hour later. But there are a lot of cars out there, so we always warn them not to go out. We always make sure that front door is always closed. One day, the wind blew really hard, and the front door got open a little bit. He saw that. He went out. He went out. Okay? And I ran after him, and he was already gone. I yelled him, Bruce, Bruce, but he never paid attention to me. Ran away, roaming around the village. The area, you know, the subdivision we are in. So an hour later, I went outside, waiting on him. I saw him way out there coming home. And I called him, Bruce. He was at the other side of the street. He was running. He's done all his work, checking every places he wanted to check. He was coming home. So I was calling Bruce. He was coming toward me. But he had to cross the street. And he didn't see car coming. And hit him on the side. He flew around 10 feet away. I thought he was dead. Quite a painful experience for him. I checked on him, and I don't see any broken bones. It was a Sunday, and there's no vet open. So I was waiting until next day to check on him. But he loved to drink milk, so I brought a milk and 2 pills of Advil, grind them, and put them together. Next morning, he was well okay. he was as normal. He had no problem whatsoever. He was walking around and doing all those stuff that he usually do. He learned a lesson. What lesson did he learn? Number 1, he should not go outside. Number 2, when he crossed the street, he got to watch. He got to look around. That's the lesson he learned by painful experience. You know what? Until he died, even if we cracked the door open, he never went outside. He never went outside. Then even if we took them outside with a leash, crossing the street, you know what he does? He looked around, looked both sides. See if there's anything coming. Then when he's okay, he looked at me. What does that mean? We could cross the street. That's what he said. Until he died. You know, God trains us, God teaches us lesson by two things. Number one, reward. Number two, you know, if a reward doesn't work, what does God do? Give us painful experience to go through. He gives a one pain to learn a lesson, for us to learn a lesson, right? But we don't learn a lesson. We're so, we're so stubborn. We're so obstinate. Then what he does, he brings a little bigger, painful experience. Bigger and bigger until we get to the point. So God never wastes our pain. He intentionally put. Okay? I want you to remember that. Okay? But there are three lenses we need to use to look at the pain. This is the reason God, put pain in front of us. Number one, spiritual formation and character development. We are not spiritually well enough to be like Jesus. Okay? Our character doesn't reveal his character. That's a time God put painful experience in front of us. You got that? Tell me who will fall into this category in the Bible. Who could that be? Think about the Bible character. They will fall in this, category. David. What experience? Bathsheba. Yeah. Samson. Yeah. Zechariah. Yes, Zechariah. Yeah. Another one is guidance and direction. The way we do things. Not right with God. The place we go is not right with God. Things that we do, not right with God. So in order for us to change our direction, God put painful experience in front of us. Who could that be in the Bible that will fall into this category? Very famous one. Who's that? Jonah. So true, Jonah. Correct? Jonah, right? Yeah. Jonah was told to go to Nineveh, but he went to different place, right? Yeah. Yep. He could not hide. That's right. Yeah. Tarshish. Yeah. So when our way of living is not right, that's the time God put painful experience in front of us. Okay? Or place we go, direction we are heading to, no good with God. So he put painful experience before us. Number one is deepening and clarifying our values. Okay, who could that be in the Bible that will fall into this category? Paul? That's right, Paul. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. His value was, what was his value? His value was to kill all the Christians, right? That was not right. That's right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those three things God has in mind when he put trials and tribulation before us. You got that? Okay. Knowing this, look at your painful experience now. Okay? If it has something to do with character, or your character, or spiritual formation, put C in there. Okay? If it has something to do with the guidance and directions, put G in there. Okay? If it has something to do with the value, please say V in there. Put the V in there. So we are processing the pain that you've gone through. I just asked you only 3 of them, right? There are a lot of them I know. Okay, you go home and jot them all down and look those painful experiences with the 3 lenses that I just mentioned. Okay? Look at your painful experience. See which one that fits out of those three? All right. Yeah, yeah, you can see one, yeah. Oh, some of the experiences, you're just gonna have three of them all together. Yeah, that's so true, that's so true. Or two, or one, yeah, that's so true. Let me tell you, if you don't process those painful experiences in the past, you know, that pain that you suffer will kill you. Okay? So you need to process that. Oh, this is why God put painful experience before me. I need to grow more. I should reflect God's character in my life. Oh, my value was wrong. I was pursuing wrong values in my life. Oh, the way I live is not right with God. That's why He put painful experience before me. Okay? Then you don't have to. Then once you've done that, you're not gonna blame others for your pain. Got that? You know what I want you to do? When you go home in a quiet time, list all the painful experiences in your life. Okay? Before or after you become a Christian. Okay? And meditate upon it and put one of those, three right there. Oh, this is why. The reason you came here today was because some of the pains that you suffer, okay, God put intentionally, and you learn something out of it. That's why you're here. All right, I'm gonna show you my pink note. Do you know who was my pink note? This guy right here. That's my son. And dealing with him, help him to grow as an adult. Me as a father was quite a painful experience. He was such a great boy. He's the kind of boy who will come down from upstairs to bring a glass of water to me when I ask him. Such a nice boy. Lovely boy. He still is. Okay? But when he went to middle school and high school, monster came out. Yeah. A lot of chemicals popping up in his body. One day, he showed up in front of my house with a girl. And I looked at her. I was shocked. I was about to faint. The girl that he brought, I could not believe my own eyes. A girl who shaved both sides of her head, and then in the middle, we call it mohawk hairstyle. Right in the middle, all the hairs are standing up, and the seven different colors. And I see more skin of her than her clothes, all over her body. And you know what he said? Daddy, she's my girlfriend. You know what I said? In action, not by word, action. What do you think I said? In action. Stop it. That's what I said. I didn't say, but I show, stop it. You can't do this to me. Do you know that a kid going to the high school here, missing 15 days without permit, the parents got to go to truancy court? Yeah. I went to a truancy court 2 times. First time I paid $250 fine. Second time I paid $1,500 fine. Third time, I was 1 day short before he graduated. If he had missed 1 more days in high school years, you know what's going to happen? I will go to jail myself. They got to put me in jail for 4 days. I was 1 day short. One night, he disappeared We could not find him anywhere else. And we went every places we thought that he could be, but he wasn't there. You know where I found him? Top of the roof. He was on the roof, lying down, gazing stars. Middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning. What do you think I said? Stop it. That's what I said. Stop it. You're such an idiot. In the middle of the night, worrying your parents over 3 hours. Stop it. That's the attitude I show. Stop it. You know, one day I was coming from visitation. I got a call from the police department saying that my son is there, during the school days, school hours. And he was caught in a Walmart. And I had to pay $200 fine to get him out. Instead of what? Instead of understanding him and having a meaningful conversation, what do you think I said? Stop it. That's what I did. Stop it. You are a pastor's kid. You can't dishonor your parents like this. Stop it. That's the attitude I have shown him. So it was not his fault. Whose fault was that? It was my fault. Treating him like that. You know, he was in the middle of identity crisis. Instead of helping him to go through that painful experience. You know, when kids go into identity crisis, they are going through painful experience in their lives, trying to find who they are. And my attitude was, you dumb. Stop it. You better listen to your parents. Stop it. That's what I did. He went to college. You know, usually when high school kids go into college, they apply between 5 to 10 different colleges, right? My son applied in one school. The farthest school that he can go from parents. That was Andrews University. You know, after first year, we got a letter from school. You know what it says? Your son is not welcome back here. I said, why? I didn't get any warnings or any disciplinary action from the school. You know what school said? We send them all to you. What? My son was smart enough to send them somewhere else. He missed classes. He never showed up in a dormitory. He caught with other kids drinking, smoking, doing drugs. It was quite a painful experience. I didn't know why those pains are coming to me. What was God doing? What is God doing? If I had known then, the relationship between me and my son would be much better. God was intentionally putting painful experience before me so that I may grow. I may, wake up and grow and be like Jesus. But I was kind of so stubborn, so self-centered, trying to find someone to blame. You know, I talked with the school. He was given 6 weeks probation coming back to school. So he went back to school. Before 6 weeks ended, you know what I got? I got a call from school. Then you better come and take my son home. So I drove 16 hours from Dallas all the way to Andrews University to pick my son up. And I talked with school dean again, come up with a new arrangement. So he was able to stay there. It was quite a painful experience. You know what though? Finally, I learned a lesson going through those painful experiences with my son. And you know what? One day, he was done with Andrews University and going to Loma Linda for his PT training. And I volunteered to take him from Andrews all the way to in Loma Linda, driving 3 days, California, 3 days. So I determined that I'm going to spend more time with my son, driving together. Especially, we decide to go to the Colorado, okay, to hike the highest mountain out there so that I can spend more time with him. So we spend a lot of time together talking, talk about life and talk about schools and all that, right? So I was very close with him. That I never shown stop-it attitude anymore, okay? And he really appreciated that. You know what? We are passing Arizona, Flagstaff area. You know what he said? I was driving, he was sitting on my right. He looked at me and said, "Dad, I've been dating a girl last year and a half. Now I have to quit dating her because it bothers my study. I cannot concentrate my major. So I have to quit dating her." You know what I said? If it had been, if I hadn't been changed, what do you think I have said? "You stop it. You can't even handle your schoolwork. You're going to date a girl?" That's what I would have said. But I learned a valuable lesson from God. You know what I said? "Son, I'm sorry not knowing what's going on in your life. I really appreciate it and respect you coming up that decision." That's what I said. Okay? That's what I said. I was driving. I didn't even look at him. I was driving, And then I looked at him. You know what he was? You know what I saw? He was crying. Hearing those words from his own father. Never heard it before. He was crying. When I saw him crying, you know what happened to me? I got so emotional, and I happened to cry as well. So I was crying really loud, and he was crying. And because of tears coming down my eyes, I could not drive any farther. So I pulled the car over to the side. And he came out of the car and went to the other side. And my son came out. We hug each other and cry, hugging at each other. People passing by thinking, they're seeing two men hugging each other. They are honking at us. But we didn't. But we didn't care. From that moment on, my son and me is like this. So close. But what if God had not put painful experience before me? Me and my son will be a stranger to each other. You know what I'm saying? I thank God that God gave me a painful experience so that I could grow. I can grow. My time is up. I'm going to finish now. This is what I want you to do. Time to share your pain and lessons you have learned. Okay? What I want you to do, you can't do it today because of time. When you go home during the week, find someone to share your painful experience that you suffered before or you're suffering now. Don't stop there. You need to share the lesson that you're learning. Okay? It will make you much, it will help you to grow more when you share things. Okay? Okay, guys, I'm done for today. What did you learn today? No pain, no gain. Thank you, brother. Thank you. No pain, no gain. What else?
Open your eyes, wake up, and smell the rose, because pain's good. Prick your finger a little bit on that thorn, too, while you're there.
Okay.